You have to stop hanging around certain people. You have to stop hanging around certain people who always complain, who always don't see anything positive, who are not trying to start businesses, who want to be employees all their life. They want to work at Walmart for 30 years and retire to a 401k or some social security of $600 a month, where you want to build financial freedom for yourself and your family. You have to change locations. You have to change rooms. You need to start hanging around other people. Hello, friends. Welcome to another exciting episode of the New Rich Podcast, the number one and fastest growing podcast for creators and entrepreneurs to help you build financial freedom and launch 6- and 7-figure online businesses. I'm Uyi Abraham. I'm the founder of the New Rich, and he's my co-founder and my podcast mate,
Dr. Faith Abraham. Welcome back to the podcast, New Rich Nation.
Awesome. We're so excited to have you here today. We're going to be talking about something really very special today. We're going to be talking about wealthy rooms and why it's important that you be in wealthy rooms, right? Well, before we do that, let's ask Dr. Faith, how was your week?
My week has been going phenomenally, fantastic. Definitely making some moves and things. So get ready, guys. I know it's September. And so a lot of people are like, oh, the year's almost over. No, the year is just starting, my dear. So we're excited about the great things that are we're working towards and that are coming. How about you? How's your week?
Very good. I'm working on Mastermind coming up soon.
See?
So there's a lot of stuff. Yeah. So that's going to be October 27 and 28. Right in Atlanta, Georgia. So if you want to learn how to grow your online business, how to start an online business, how to make 6 and 7 figures online, then you need to meet us in Atlanta for 2 days, October 27th and 28th for the Making Millions Mastermind. So the information will be right there
on the
screen and also on the show notes as well. So let's talk about wealthy rooms.
Let's talk about it.
And why that's important. And why you need to also come to the Making Millions Mastermind too, because rooms are where everything happens, right? You know, I remember coming to America with just $100 and a suitcase of clothes and coming here and going through difficult times and just being broke and poor. And then one thing about being broke and poor is that people you hang around, they tend to be just like you.
That's right.
Because you're going to find comfort in the people who look like you, talk like you, right? And then when you get wealthy, then you find yourself in new cycles of people that look like you, dress like you, smell like you, drive like you, eat like you, sleep like you, you know, and just talk like you, right? So that's one of the big disparity when it comes to the journey of success, the journey of wealth. But what I didn't know at the time was that one of the first things to do, because environments are important. Rooms are really environments, right? Your room is the environment that you place yourself in. I think somebody said that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? That's why if you're born in the hood, you're going to most likely talk like the hood. You're going to most likely dress like the hood. Most likely going to sag your pants, right? If you're born in an upscale suburb, you're going to reflect your environment. I was born in Nigeria, so I picked my tonations and my accent from Nigeria because that was the room, that was the environment I was born in, right?
Absolutely.
My wife, she's Nigerian, but she was born in America.
Correct.
But she talks with an American accent because she picked up from my environment. So that's how important environments are. That the way you talk, the way you think, the way you behave, and also to your success in life has a big part to dealing with the environment that you find yourself in. So if you want to be rich or wealthy, which I believe, and I know you want to be, you have to stop hanging around certain people. You have to stop hanging around certain people who always complain, who always don't see anything positive, who are not trying to start businesses, who want to be employees all their life. They want to work at Walmart for 30 years and retire to a 401k or some social security of $600 a month, where you want to build financial freedom for yourself and your family. You have to change location. You have to change rooms. You need to start hanging around other people that want to be and do and go where you want to go. And that is why we are especially inviting you to be in a room of millionaires, room with millionaires, with 6 and 7 figure earners, so you can be in new rooms, new environment, learn new language, learn new way of thinking, learn new way of moving, so you can position yourself for success for 2023 and beyond.
A lot of times people think, oh, well, be in wealthy rooms, it's not that big of a deal. But what actually happens is, even though you're physically locating yourself in wealthy rooms, what's happening is spiritually, you're putting yourself in wealthy rooms as well. So there's a physical representation and then there's a spiritual representation, because when you go into wealthy rooms, that's where the conversation is different. The things that they're discussing is different. Now, of course, we're all humans, so we all are sharing a human experience.
Yeah.
But I remember when I first started doing business outside of my parents' business, I helped my dad establish his various businesses through the years I was growing up. My mom was an attorney, so she had her business as well. For whatever reason, I just felt like I was going to climb the corporate ladder, but we'll leave that for another day. But the first business that I did by myself, for myself, was through multi-level marketing. And one of the things that I will always take with me is the rooms that I was in, the conversations, the experiences they were having, the way they would talk about making $30,000 a month. I don't think my brain was like really processing $30,000 a month, but it was processing how they looked in their clothes. Mm-hmm. It was processing the Benzes and the BMWs and all the other cars that they had in the parking lot. I was processing that, but I wasn't processing how, and it didn't occur to me on a really mental, cognitive level, but I believe subconsciously I was getting it, but cognitively it was difficult for me to really put 2 and 2 together on so you've helped so many people to change their lives that now your life has changed.
Yeah.
It took a while for me to really see how powerful entrepreneurship is in business, because you're serving other people and you're serving them with something they want. And when you serve enough people and you help them get to where they want to go, you will get to where you want to go.
Right.
But when it hit, it was like, wow, it was like a complete shift. And I started operating differently. I started talking differently. I started seeing myself differently. I started seeing myself through the eyes and through the lens of the people that I admired, and telling myself, well, if she can do it, I can do it. Mm-hmm. If he can do it, I can do it. Mm-hmm. If they figured it out, then I can figure it out. Right. But that was because I was in rooms.
In the rooms, yeah.
I was in the room.
That was challenging you.
That was challenging me.
You.
I was not comfortable at all. Let's be crystal clear. Because I knew I didn't have the dress code. I knew my shoes weren't up to par. I knew I couldn't get my hair done every single week. Like that would have just made me broker than broke. Like I just couldn't afford it. But being in those rooms shifted me. And it really made me see life at a different perspective, because you don't know what you don't know until you don't know it.
Wow.
And when you realize you don't know it, then it's like, either I'm going to be jealous, or I'm going to take this as a challenge.
Come on now.
And I always took it as a challenge. Like, if God can help you get there, then he loves me too. Yeah. He made me too. So I can do it too. I just got to figure out my lane. I just got to figure out how I can flow in it.
Right.
Rooms did that.
Rooms are powerful.
They're so powerful.
Maybe that's the reason why you are not where you want to be so far, because you have not been in the right rooms. You know, remember, I think it was 2021 where I invested $10,000 to go to a mastermind in Miami, Florida. And it was one of the most, at the time, it was one of the most expensive individual, meeting or mastermind I've been in. But I knew I needed to be in that room.
Oh, yeah.
I just knew I needed to be in that room. I knew that money was not going to stop me, right? And that investment have made me hundreds of thousands of dollars today. And some of my great relationships in business, my people I know, people who know me, where people who met in that mastermind. Every one of us, we went together to that mastermind. We're also inspired, and we learn from each other. Many of us, we're friends today and make money together today, at least know each other and some connections here and there. Great things happen in that mastermind, right?
Well, let me ask you this, because I think maybe our viewers was asked this question. Okay, you went to a mastermind. The fee was $10,000. So how did you make that back? How did you convert the 10,000 to hundreds of thousands?
Good question. Right. So number one was my mindset got shifted.
Absolutely.
Right. Which is the big thing. My belief got stronger concerning wealth. Right. Which is the first thing. Then second two was the knowledge there was really great. Right. About creating digital products and making money online. And the third and probably the most important one for me was the relationships. Right. Relationships that I built in that mastermind was directly, help me to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let me give you one example, right? In that mastermind, I met David Chance was in that mastermind.
Okay.
Right. And David Chance is the host of Social Proof podcast. Right. And then I got from there. In fact, I've been trying to reach him prior to that to get on his show, but he wouldn't respond until we were in the same room at the mastermind. So now he had to give me an answer. So I got on the mastermind. Then just on that mastermind alone, people saw that episode till today. People are still buying courses or coaching programs from me from being on his podcast. That happened because I met him at a mastermind, right?
And I think he said that he just didn't see it, or he didn't have the chance to respond to you. So then when he saw you in person, it was like, oh yes, guy, let's do it.
Exactly.
So being in the room actually put a face and a voice to the name that he saw, but didn't get a chance to move on it. So when he saw you, then that's when the whole thing happened.
Exactly.
And it's been, matter of fact, we were at InvestFest, and I remember we were at the booth, because we spent a lot of time at InvestFest in the booth, on the floor, so we can meet new people, our customers and everything. And someone was walking by the booth, and I gave them a card, and they were like, man, I know you from somewhere. I was like, this guy? He was like, yeah, I met him. I was like, did you meet him or did you see him on Social Proof? He was like, that's what it is. It was Social Proof podcast. I was like, yes, he's been on the podcast. And now I was telling him a couple other podcasts that you had been on as well. He was like, man, so this is Monza. And I'm like, how many times do you have to see it? Now, granted, we know it takes 21 touches for someone to get that like, know, and trust factor, right? But the fact that podcast happened so long ago, and it put you into people But it was because even before the podcast, it was the room that you were in that opened the door for that.
Exactly.
That is so powerful.
Yeah. And also on that podcast too, somebody saw it and invested 6 figures into one of our businesses.
Correct.
Money I would not have gotten if I was not on that podcast. A couple of people came to us to help them start their Christian universities from that podcast as well. So there were so many goods. In fact, forever, I'm going to continue to benefit from being in that room, right? So that's why we want you to be in the room for the next Making Millions Mastermind happening in Atlanta on October 27th and 28th. Beyond just the teachings, we're going to teach you about mindset, about belief, about your expertise, about creating an attractive offer, about how to sell, about how to build consistent and predictable traffic machine for your business. We're going to teach you business funding, real estate, how to live a lavish life. So many great things you're going to learn: credit, business funding, business credit, all of that stuff. But also too, the goal is also for you to also build meaningful business relationships that people you will not meet elsewhere if you were not in the room, right? So you need to go right now to thenewrich.me and register. And the link for the mastermind will also be in this podcast episode as well. Register and come to Atlanta 2 days, right? Early bird registration is ending soon. At the time you see this video, if you wait, you're going to pay double or triple the price, right? It's a very small investment because we want to make it accessible and easy for you and for anyone to be in the same room with us. We went from zero, literally $100 and a suitcase, to now having over $30 million in net worth, right? How did we do that? And we did it so fast, right? We're going to be teaching you and breaking it down so that you also become our next success story of a 6 or 7 figures online business earner. So make sure you register and be in the rooms. So before we close, we got about less than 5 minutes, right? What else are you going to share to somebody on why they need to change rooms, why they need to start going to the right masterminds, the right conferences, right? Conferences are cool to me, but it really, now this conference is just more of like, how big of a celebrity you can bring to the speaker role.
Right.
Right? And as much as substance, right?
Yeah.
But masterminds are different because usually smaller, right? So you can really get to learn and network in a way that easier to network with 40 people than trying to network with 40 people in 10,000, 20,000 people event.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. And I make a differentiation. Just like I said, in my MLM years, I make a differentiation. When I go to the big events, I'm going for inspiration. I'm going for motivation. I'm going to be revived. I'm going for a new story, a new success story that I could tell myself and begin to play out in my own personal life. That's the big stuff. The masterminds, where it's smaller, more consolidated, I'm looking for substance. I'm looking for that thing that's going to change the course of my business. I'm looking for that understanding that's going to put me in a different category, competitively, earning wise. When I started my counseling business, I was able to hit 100K within 2 years because I started going to smaller rooms where I could get those nuggets that I can easily implement into my business and see the results and see the change come forth. Yeah. So being at Making Millions Mastermind is substance. Like, you're coming to get those nuggets. You're coming to get that shift to make the difference between who you are right now and who your future self is waiting for you to become. Because the future you is waiting. If who you are right now was who your future needed you to be, you would already be in your future.
Yeah.
But your future is waiting for you to catch up to it and become that version of yourself. And that happens in masterminds. So we want to see you in October in Atlanta, here at the Making Millions Mastermind.
That is amazing. And by the way, you are looking so beautiful today.
Oh, thanks.
Hair done, everything.
Everything.
Makeup, everything good. So I just wanted to say it looks so good. All right, friends, thank you for watching this episode of the New Rich Podcast. It was brought to you free from Vonza.com, the all-in-one platform for creators and entrepreneurs to run your business online. Vonza gives you a one-stop shop solution for your entire business, from your website, your course, your marketing, your emails, your templates, funnels, everything you need to run your business online in one simple place. So go to Vonza.com and start a 14-day free trial. The link is also in the show notes as well. Until next time, I'm Uyi Abraham, and this is
Dr. Faith Abraham. We'll see you in the next episode, New Rich Nation.
And come to Making Millions Mastermind Atlanta, October 27 and 28. Click below right now and register, and we'll see you there. Bye for now.
Bye.